This video explains in some detail what data is inside the e.dataSubmitted and e.oldDataSubmitted object when you submit a dialog component. So you can see here we have a very simple dialog with two controls and a submit button, and I've got a debug one in the after dialog validate event, so we can see what got submitted to the server. So if I go there and type a value of A in the first control and B in the second control and then hit the submit button, you can see here we're now inside the after dialog validate event, and we're looking at what's inside E, and I can see that e.dataSubmitted is A and B, and e.oldDataSubmitted is nothing, and the dirty columns are both alpha and beta. So now if I continue to run that and then go back to the dialog and go now and make a change to say alpha, and then submit the dialog again and look inside those two objects, we see that e.dataSubmitted now is A2 for alpha, B was still submitted, oldDataSubmitted hasn't changed, and dirty columns is still alpha and beta. But if you wanted to reset the dialog after each submission so that each next submission treated the dialog as if you were starting from scratch, we'll show now how you can actually do that. So if I go now to the dialog event, and you see here that I've written some code that's currently commented out. Let me just make the window a little bit bigger so you can see more of it, and then comment this code back in. You can see that what I'm doing is taking the data that was submitted and repopulating the dialog. So this is the populate method of the dialog is typically called in the on dialog initialize event, but here we're calling it in the after dialog validate event, so that every time the dialog is submitted, it's basically reset to, in effect, its initial state, but still showing the data that was entered by the user. So you can see here we're basically creating a JavaScript object called underbar D. This name is arbitrary, and then we're basically setting the alpha and beta property of this object, because these are the two control names, to whatever data was submitted. Of course we need to call JS escape because we're creating a JavaScript command here, and so we need to escape any JavaScript characters, and then we call the populate method of the dialog object. So now when we go ahead and we run this, and I go here and I type A and B, the first time I hit submit there's no difference. You can see e.dataSubmitted is alpha, is A and B, and old data is alpha and beta, and the dirty columns are alpha and beta. But now, having done that, if I now go and make a change there and make that alpha 2 and hit the submit button, at this point now I can see that old data contains A and B, the submitted data contains alpha 2 there, and the only dirty column at this point is alpha. So you can see here how we've tricked the dialog, in effect, in the after dialog validate event to think that it's being reset to an initial state that now has the current values of the control in the field. Thank you.